Have to switch room.
Welcome to Effortless Being, where it takes no effort just to be. I have some guests with me on the line today. To my left is Daryl. Daryl, say hi to the audience. Maybe just give an introduction, like how we know each other. I know you've been on the channel once before, but maybe new people listening.
Yes. Hi. Rob contacted me maybe a year ago, maybe just less than a year ago, but we had a common, we both had met with David Bingham, and I think that was the commonality.
Yeah.
And we spoke a bit and we enjoyed each other's company. So I've appeared on his channel once or twice, and that's how we know each other. And and I know Julie also through David Bingham, but I don't know. Yeah, that's my side.
Oh, there's somebody below Julie there on the screen that was also has a connection with David Bingham. So I'm sure she'll tell you about that when we get down there. Seems like a common thread, like that I've seen with a lot of people. Also, just so the audience knows, Daryl also has a book out, and I thought his book was very good, the way he chronicles everything. Daryl, just tell a little bit about your book real quick, just while I have you here.
It's my personal account of what. So I was a seeker for many years, for like nearly 20 years. So it kind of chronicles what I went through and the realizations I had and what I learned and the kind of dead ends that I took over that time. It kind of culminates at one point there was an awakening or the end of seeking. And then there's a kind of section in the book which is beyond seeking, which is a deepening of the process. So but it's a very personal account. I found in a lot of spiritual books are kind of always written in the third person, or they're not personal accounts, and I always enjoyed personal accounts. And I wrote it purely from my perspective, and I thought, well, if I'd known these things when I began seeking other people, it would be helpful for other people. So that's why I wrote the book.
Yeah, is there anything before I go to Sid, just anything in particular that you just want to highlight, that something that can save people a lot of time when they go to the seeking? Anything that you really saw in your direct experience?
Well, there's no short answer. Some people are ripe and they'll go straight to the end. Some people won't need to seek at all. Um, 20 years or 25 years ago, when I started, seeking was common, but almost as if the world wasn't ready to wake up as it is now. So, but most seekers never thought that there was any possibility that they would actually awaken themselves. It was always like the guru or the teacher. I
Yeah.
mean, it was weird. For like 10 years, it's like there was never any, that was something for
Wow.
the next life. So that's changed a lot. And now with the direct path, and the people are much more open to it, and the world itself is open to it. So it's accessible now to anyone. All you need to do is want it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
no, it used to be where you had to go to like satsangs and all that just to, or go to
That's
India
right.
or a
You
guru or
needed like a long period of purification, and it wasn't necessary, but it was to a certain extent necessary. I feel the world was actually almost a denser place, and that purification and those all those traditions had that purification in me because it was almost impossible to pierce the veil. And
Hmm.
now so many people have pierced the veil that it's actually just all you need. The most important thing is really just have the right intention. And if your intention is pure and steadfast, it will become your experience.
Hmm.
beautiful. Sid, you had something you wanted to ask Arrow? Or?
Yes, yes. I want to read your book. What's the title?
The title actually changed.
Oh.
At first, I called it The Seeker, My Adventures on the Pathless Path, and then I kind of rewrote it and I changed it to Transcending Me, A Spiritual Journey. And I really like that title. I found it actually described the process, Transcending Me, A Spiritual Journey.
Mhm.
Nice.
Because I kind of, if it's a lot of people, if you ask people what actually is awakening, you get lots of long answers. But
Hmm.
in a nutshell, it's really just the transcendence of the personal identity
Hmm.
from my perspective. I don't want to put words in other people's mouths.
It's beautiful. Julie, do you have any questions for Daryl on anything you said there? Or anything pop through for you?
No question.
How about you, Monty?
Um, I'm okay. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
Okay, Sid, we'll go to you.
My
Tell
turn.
us about give us an introduction, whatever, whatever you want to say, whatever's coming through.
And can I note two questions that I have, two things that came up for Daryl for later?
You can bring it up right now if you want, while it's there.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'll bring them. I'll bring them. I'll bring them up when there's a
Okay,
pause, when we're like
whatever it
later,
feels
when we're like, what are we
effortless
going to
and
say
whatever
next?
feels effortless and easy for you, Sid.
Well,
Just
effortless. That's our. So, like you were asking, what's the relation with this guy Rob? Like, what's all of our relations with this guy Rob? And I'm a new friend of Rob's. A couple months ago, he was a guest on Awareness Explorers. I don't know if y'all saw that interview, but it was just like it was just so fun. It was so light. It was such a celebration of all of this. Not the I mean, I probably share a lot of what Daryl does as far as the path being, oh, then we got to go to satsang, and then you got to go to a Zen meditation retreat for 10 days and look at a wall, and then you got to go to a psychotherapy session and deal with your issues. And it's like there was such joy with Rob's depiction of this and talking about it. I just love that. And and so then I just wrote him and let's be friends. Um, and so that's been pretty neat. And then also my work's called his is Effortless Being, and mine's called Effortless IFS. And so hey, we
what a
got this in
great word,
common.
effortless, right, Sid?
Effortless.
Celebration.
So celebration that we sing and dance. And so which is fun because that's been my play of all of this is how can just what Daryl's saying, where it's becoming the veil is becoming kind of less dense, and how can this be kind of a playful, enjoyable process of opening more to this that doesn't come and go as we all have our suffering. This is the basis of my work and kind of my creative project is how can we like I loved sports as a kid. Like I wasn't great at it, but I loved playing. And I can do like with 9 different types of balls, I can do crazy things. I never had to work at it. I just like played with my friends and I learned how, and it's just what we did. It was fun. And what my work is how can like opening to what all five of us love be that word effortless, be effortless. Can we effortlessly open to this through I'm going to say just play. And like one of my expressions is called the awakening dance party, which is literally a dance party. And it's like songs, but you're being facilitated to kind of become more to recognize while we're dancing this that doesn't come and go, and then recognize all the expressions of the personal that come, and just to get that discernment and then the healing of it all. And so I've been playing with that. I've been playing with like IFS flow yoga I've created, and it's effortless IFS. It's just like the metaphor I was using earlier, the sense of the weather and the sky. And so we just get to know the sky, this that doesn't change. And then we get to know the expressions of our personality that are like the weather. And then mine goes a little different than I think what Daryl was sharing, and it goes to almost like a falling in love with, because there's the advaita of the discernment, and I think eventually it all goes to the same place. But my work, there's a sense of like literally falling in love with all of this expression, all the expressions of our humanness, which our friend Rob lives, and I'm guessing this is my sense is for all of us now. There's a sense of this, but it's like falling in love with all. If we can fall in love with everything that arises inside of us, this is what I love most. Then there's the magic. Like I love the movie Inside Out, and I'll stop in just a moment. I love the movie Inside Out because it's like
We're
what's
loving it, Sid.
inside
Keep
is
going. We're
outside.
loving it.
And it's like the coolest thing for me is if we really like love everything that arises in us, we can welcome it and enjoy everything that arises in us, then suddenly like, whoa, what happened? My glasses completely changed. The world just became beautiful. Everybody became beautiful. Everybody's radiant. Everybody's the way Rob sees them. And like I love that. And I love the sense of that being a game and a play and like what opens in us, and not psychotherapy and not sitting in a Zen meditation retreat. And that's what I do. Boom.
You, you, you're also a mediator, lawyer. What is it? Tell them about that, and maybe something that you do on your calls, something like this.
Okay, so this is a little heavier, right? Because it's like, how do we apply this really like right into the world in an ordinary way? And I said this the other day on the show with it's like I made a mistake when I was very young and I went to law school. And so it's like now it's like almost like we filter this through whatever background we have or what we do, right? And it's like Daryl speaks of being a horticulturalist, and I'm really very interested in how this filters through there, and like for each of us, how it filters through our particular specializations. And mine was conflict resolution as a mediator, and so now I have a like my main website is effortlessifs.com, but I have a new one and I'm just developing, which is them2us.com. And this is where I'm kind of really stepping in. The US is kind of a mess right now with like the red and blue, the divisions, the politics. And I'm stepping in, literally like stepping into the middle of that. And like I'll go into a church and there'll be the red and the blue people. And my job will be to help them find the us beneath it all, to help them to find the common humanity. And that's what I'm doing with just, any of us can do this because this is what we open up to seeing, like the beauty and the radiance that shines through. But then it's how to translate that into their politics. And I'll in with this. I love the example of in the United States, we have a real division around guns. Like we have a lot of people that guns are the answer. If more people were armed, we would be safe. If teachers were armed, we would be safe. And then we have a lot of other people that like, are you crazy? We need to be like Australia. We need to get rid of these things. We have these school shootings are too much. But then when we go beneath that, on either side, we go beneath it, and there's the common love of our children. It's all the same. The humanity is the same. It's just little strategies are different, and we get lost in the strategies, and we play these silly games of dividing ourselves into us and them. That's my work in the world. Boom.
Wow.
Lovely.
Boom. Very
Nice.
cool.
Lovely.
Anybody got any questions for Sid before we go on? Anything coming up?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Do you feel, Sid, that your work is very spontaneous in the moment, the wisdom, the answer arises, the words come as you play in the field?
100%. Like our friend Rob, it's just there can't be a prep. Like if I was meeting with Daryl, how would I, it's just like, wow, or Julie, here I am with Julie. And it's just like, you just fall in love with Julie and then in just being with you. And then if you were to say, Sid, you're an idiot. This that you're talking about, IFS, all of that, what you're talking about, that's just nonsense. It's like, then I just get to be with that. I mean, that's the richness of the moment. And to celebrate maybe even what comes up inside of me. Oh my God, she's right. And then also at the same time to see like what's beneath all of that for her and celebrate it for you to celebrate it. So yeah, it's just being in the moment with what the beauty of our human expressions. I mean, Rob will say it's all awareness expressing, right? And just being with that.
That's the ease and effortlessness of non-preparation,
Yeah.
of just being.
Yeah, you could just frame it as, this is effortless being, and that's just another point of view, within effortless being, this peerless view of awareness, and that's just another point of view within it, and it's all one, which is the beauty of it. How about you, Julie? What do you got? Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself or whatever's coming through.
Yeah, so I found David Bingham through a set of circumstance in 2021. After my dad passed, there was this emptiness of two things like is that it? Is that all? When someone dies, there is this sometimes existential question can come from it. Is that how I want to live my life? Was it worth it to die this way? Like many questions can arise from that. And also I was very invested in my identity as the daughter of my dad. So when he passed, that identity left and I felt empty for a while. And I found my way through intuition, like everyone else, the infinite being revealing itself to itself. I found breadcrumbs to a message in the greatest secret which I resonated most with David Bingham. So I contacted him, and he said, "Yeah, you just had self-realization." I was like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not sure. So I was feeling in bliss for a very long time, then went into not believing, like the mind, believing the mind, like it's not, no, it's gone now, you've lost it, and all that stuff. And I had a few meeting with David, and I met Daryl through a few common friends
Oh,
with whom we were meeting on Sunday with Amanda.
oh, you
And
were the Amanda group. I didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, we shared the time on Sunday morning for a while, and I was so dedicated. I would wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to join the group
Wow.
every week, and I wouldn't miss. And I felt that being reflected through my experience was that all of the subconscious material and the limiting belief and all the search for being approved or being seen, everything was coming up to the surface, and it was coming up even more when I was near other higher frequency, or like there's something that was happening while I was meeting with them, because there was all this it's very intimate what I'm gonna say, but I felt like I finally found my family.
Mm.
And then I was kind of grasping at it, and all the belief that I'm not lovable, or um they're gonna leave me, and all of that was coming to the surface. So I was kind of just on a speed road of integration, and yeah, so and then it evolved into I chose to let go of my work and became a coach, and it seemed like everything I did for the past 4 years is walking through my fear
Mm.
and proving to myself that lack does not exist, and it brought me to a path of realization that the belief in lack of love is deeply ingrained, and from that belief can arise the belief in lack of money,
Mm.
and in lack of energy, and in lack of health. And because if I don't value myself, my time, my presence, myself here on this human experience, I might overwork, I might earn very little, I might make a lot of effort and never get anything. I might feel that people don't love me or they don't respect me, and everything, all these beliefs. There was for me a realization that I was creating, everything I was creating was arising from these beliefs. So all I could see was confirmation of these beliefs.
Mm.
I believed my partner did not love me. So even when he was buying me a gift, I would question if the gift was enough, and if there was enough gift, and why wasn't he more present? And I was creating the exact thing I didn't want. So so through that realization, then I started to reverse, and everything that I ever wanted is just appearing and coming through for me very easily, and I live in abundance and ease and effortlessness and joy and inspiration. And so I met Robert through that frequency of ease. I watched one of the conversation he had with someone, and then I said I really like the conversation, I resonate with it. And Rob, being so generous, he said, like, why don't we just meet? And the conversation we had was about that, was about realizing that when I believe I lack something, I create the very lack of it. And I think we both resonate with this realization that abundance is all around us, everywhere, all the time. It's everything we have here is abundance.
Mhm.
This just the fact that we can meet here is abundance. Everything I see around me is the abundance that is already present. And so I chose to disembark the idea that I have to make a lot of effort. And I work with people who are ready. to disembark that. So they come to my coaching for that, to disembark the realm of hustle and grind, and yeah, and it works.
Julie
Mm.
has a book out as well. Say
Yeah,
something about your book,
co-written
Julie.
with Robert. We have a book, we should say. We have a book, and I have written another book. It's a solo one.
That's
And
great.
yeah, I'll need your help to know how to publish it,
Yeah,
Robert,
of
if you
course. What was the name of the book?
unsubscribe.
Ooh. And what was the name of our book?
Effortless abundance.
There you go. Unsubscribe. Interesting. I was thinking about something you said in your experience. What I was curious about, because I know from my own experience, when I was listening to The Greatest Secret, when David Bingham had said, "You're the infinite being having a human experience," something there really resonated with me with David. Um, was there something in that you heard from him? Was any particular words or something that resonated?
The first thing that resonated most for me was with Rhonda Byrne.
Yeah.
When she said, "Where is the happy person when the sad person is here?" If you were that, there would be a part of you missing. So I saw that we were not a fragment. And when she said, "You're not a person, you're having the experience of being a person," like it was like, phew.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, right there. I was just the realization was so clear. It could not be unbelieved, because I was like, how could I forget this? I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. And I was like crying of relief. Like I could see there's something not changing. Something is here. It's never changed. And it's always been here. It's always gonna be here. It cannot be lost. It's not affected. It's not changed by any experience. That was like, oh my God, it's all a thematic park and we're having rides and we can ride here and ride there.
Was it
I
ever
saw
born,
like there's
Julie? Was it ever
eternity.
born? Was it ever born?
Never born, eternity, like is and then yeah, and then all the question and seeking
Yeah.
came after, like what's that? And I don't understand, and there's confusion, but that's fine. It's all part of.
Anything with integration you want to share? Because I know some people on this channel, like they learn their true nature, and then there's integration. Anything that would be helpful? Maybe you could share on that.
Mm, my perception is that the end of seeking really came when I was absolutely okay and non-resistant to whatever emotion was present. And I stayed curious with the thought. Instead of saying it doesn't exist, I was, oh, this is this is curious. I was curious with the thought. Like, let's just be curious with it, like question it. Is it really true? Like instead of just turning away, for me it was more like, what does it mean about me? What do I believe? What is believed here? And curiosity was really something that supported me. And sometimes I hear people will say, "Oh, I'm open and welcoming." But really, open and welcoming is like this can stay forever.
Mhm.
And when you ask, "Is that okay if that stays forever?" And the answer is no, it has to go. Then I say, "Welcome that then.
Yeah, yeah, because
Welcome even that."
everything is awareness, right? Anything that's arising, is equal and effortless in this space of beingness that we are. It's whole. It's
Because my discovery was one day I sat at the kitchen table and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be with this sadness. It's
yeah.
absolutely okay. The sadness is here. I'm not saying I am sad. There is sadness here in this moment. I'm going to sit with this sadness. It's absolutely okay that it's here. In an instant,
Mhm.
it dissolved in peace.
Nice.
I was in bliss for weeks after. Then I
Yeah,
had to ground that because the bliss was so extreme. But it's like, how more open can you be with it? Because
Yeah.
sometimes we think we are, but they're still
Are we
like, oh,
really?
I
Yeah.
really wish it would go away. I'm like, oh no, more open.
Yeah, when we can see like every thought as not being independent, of awareness, the ground of being is with everything, with all thoughts, with all emotions. And we can see it that way, then we're not like pushing it away, but we're welcoming it. And we're treating it as equal. Like I know a lot of people, we were talking already on this call, how a lot of them, and we've done this too, where we identify with being this separate person. And it seems like it's really it's really here like at a 10, but it's almost like when you kind of see through it and realize it, it's still here, but maybe the knob goes down to maybe a 1, or maybe you could even turn it off, but then somebody calls your name, you could, re-enter into that. But it's almost like it's not denying that we're having the human experience, or even people identifying with being that separate being. It's still here. It's just that it's just not as loud as it used to be. It's just like equal with everything else. Everything that's appearing is really equal. So it's just been toned down, but it's still everything's included. They're just all just
Hmm.
equal here, no matter what it is what's been seen here. Anybody else have anything for Julie? Anything come up that you wanted to express or ask? Or
I want to go to one of those theme parks with you, and I love that image, but it's more like I just want to hang out with you, Julie. It's like how fun!
she's fun to
Wow,
hang out with, I'll tell you
this is
that. We were
fun.
we were on a cruise together. We had a great time. He's a
Yeah,
great
the
dancer.
the theme park has been more and more fun. We can say.
Anything, Daryl, you want to ask or express, or anything resonate?
Well, I think it's important to mention that even you also get the horrors in a theme park as well. You get the scary room where you have to go into so
Yeah, yeah.
so a lot of people are under well, they think that it's just all or I mean, it can be all joy, and from a certain perspective, it is all joy and peace. But if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
you
to
have
take
to
the
be
analogy
willing.
of the roller coaster, there are some scary times as well,
Yeah,
and yeah, and there can be pain as well.
yeah, yeah.
So it's not it's still experiencing, but it's not always the experiences we want. I don't know if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, all emotions are welcome. I mean, it's almost like the description of the mind comes in, with the appearance and wants to put a label on it, say, that's depression, or that's sadness, or that's like the mind is always commenting on what's already here. But when we look at what the appearance that's here, it's timelessly free, it's whole, it's complete, but yet having the human experience, the emotions are real. So we do feel everything.
There's kind of
Yeah.
there's a fluctuation of higher, and it's just that in my direct experience, because I don't buy into it as much as I did before,
Yeah.
it stopped quickly. There can be an argument with my partner. I'm not saying like be happy all the time and you have to
Yeah.
force yourself to be happy. That's not it at all. But it's gonna be dropped sooner. Like, oh, okay, I'm creating it now. Okay, let's just
Yeah, there's
drop
no
it. And
psychological aspect that continues afterward.
yes,
I wish
yeah,
I'd done this, or I wish I'd done that.
yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't stick around for so
No,
long.
it doesn't stick. Yeah.
There's more. It's like
If I could say one more thing as well,
Of
I
course.
find that like the human experience, or the experiencing that it's actually a spectrum. So one can choose where in the spectrum you want to be. You can so day-to-day life, when we're working, and that a lot of the time we're in our human experience, but we can also be in our we can have a higher experience, we can have a bliss experience. It's a spectrum. So it's the multi-dimensional nature of us as beings, and we can
Mhm.
choose where we want to place our attention. And I think that's a big part of awakening, is that you actually now, there's a whole big part of the theme park that you can now explore that you weren't even aware existed before. So you can choose exactly, yeah. So yeah. So one's existence was a more narrow existence, and it becomes wider and broader um, as one wakes up. And as one wakes up, the more one wakes up, the more one's experience becomes um, all-encompassing and broader. Not very not very well explained, but
No,
hopefully
no,
you understand.
very well explained, in
Yeah, very
fact.
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
I can, yeah, I understand that. And I also had experience after the realization where there was more suffering. It was more intense, but there was more bliss. So I felt like instead of being in this narrow band, there's a wider band. And as I was,
I've had quite a lot of suffering, and if I do something in my family and I kind of make a decision or you can say a decision arises. It depends how we want to talk about it. But it's a much rawer experience, you know. So if I did something that spiritually is kind of suboptimal, I mean, we're now talking from a slightly different level. There's a lot of pain, especially with direct family. Um, so yeah, I experienced that as well, and I experienced quite a lot of physical pain.
oh,
Yeah, a lot of physical pain, and it makes it a lot more challenging to take the position of awareness.
mm,
Um,
mm,
I just think it's important because um, it's definitely not all bliss and happiness and joy for a lot of people. So even after awakening, so I feel it's important just to that people can be aware of that. You know, that's a big aspect of the process.
Yeah, that's a good point, Daryl. And, I honor you for saying that and, being raw and putting that out there because there are some people that, that think that what this is you're just going to be blissed out once you realize your true nature. And that's not what we're talking about. Everything's included. All of us here on this call, we all feel, emotions day to day. It could be the full range of them. Um, so, we definitely acknowledge that. But this awareness that we are, this pure awareness is always here, this effortless being is always here. And there's like a knowing that this is something that we can, put our attention, as you mentioned earlier, you can put your attention on different things. But there's compassion here, even for the character Rob, Daryl, Sid, Julie, Monty. We all have compassion for it because we know what it's like to be identified, as a separate person that is happening to a me, that's here. So we definitely have compassion for that, and everything's welcome. And there's just this realization that any emotion or anything that's happening is another point of view in this pure view of awareness that we are. It's all encompassed and it's all, welcomed and compassion with love. But the day to day, people that are watching this, maybe they're suffering from depression or maybe they have an illness or something like this. And knowing, having that perfume of peace or the peace, that surpasses all understanding, which is effortless being, which is our true nature, it's always here. It's always right here, right now. And we can, realize that and identify with it. And when we realize it and identify with it, we can, it kind of makes those things, how should I say? It makes them like easier to deal with or to process. It's almost
navigate,
like, what would you say?
navigate.
Navigate. Yeah, I guess navigate. I mean, David Bingham might describe it as like invitations. Like I've heard him say, like invitations are coming and you can decline the invitation. And it's kind of relieving to know that because a lot of times people will entertain, the thoughts and the feelings and they feel like they gotta process it. But sometimes we could just, simply decline that particular invitation or just view it as part of awareness itself, like another point of view of awareness, that's welcome to be here. And then there's this compassion and love for it. And the thing I noticed about awareness is it's like it kind of comes up, as awareness, and the mind will identify it as like depression or anger. But I notice it automatically resolves itself in this space of beingness. Have you noticed that? Like it just kind of dissolves back into it, and then you're back to, right here again. It's almost like we're not like doing it. It's just like this automatic, effortless being, or there's like a intelligence behind the scenes orchestrating everything and doing it. That's kind of like been my experience. So it's just kind of like even though those other emotions come up, they're just not as, they don't have that same, that sticking point like it's happening to, to a Rob or something. It's almost like it's welcome in here because I still see that it's still awareness is still the substance of it or the ground of what it is. So it's almost like we talked on the other call, Sid. I think it was you who mentioned about the innocence that's in everything. And I think you used an illustration because I know you deal a lot with in the political world, the red and the blue and seeing the and you were saying, about different things that people will do, even in the political arena, to make their point for peace. But in their minds, like when they're doing it, I think everyone wants to love, right? Everybody wants to love and be loved. I mean, I think that's what it's all about. That's always their motive. Even no matter what actions you see, it's almost like you can see that with awareness. It's just because it welcomes everything and it's love and it's stainless awareness, right? Nothing that's happening is really hurting the awareness. So it can all be here because it's stainless. It doesn't stick. And it just kind of resolves. And it's kind of like a piece of knowing that, you know? I mean, that's what's felt here. Like I feel that
It's
that peace that's
um,
always here in the background, like this spacious peace that's here, this perfume of peace or something like this. Trying to point to what that is that's experienced, and it's in every life experience. It's always here. It's shining right here in plain sight at all times, and everything can come. Whoops, dropped my phone. Everything can come and go in it, and but there's still compassion here. There's still compassion here for people. There's still love here for people. I
even
think
more.
yeah, because it feels full here, doesn't it? Feel like it feels full, like this full. It feels full of love and joy and compassion and whatever's coming up. It's almost like as it's coming up, it's dissolving into what this is. I don't know. Does that make any sense? That's kind of like
Yeah,
what's seen here. But beautiful, Daryl, the way you're expressing that, because many people are going to relate to that. It's not
yeah, it
just
doesn't mean it's
hopeless.
suddenly all blissful for
Yeah,
forever. Ever.
that's a great point,
Wow.
because people can continue to seek and thinking, oh, I thought I was awakened, but I'm having all these. No, there's no hierarchy here. There's nobody that's better than anyone else, or we still feel, all of us are still having that human experience. It's just that now we see, like we've only been constricted, thought we were just this person, everything was happened to me, we were broken, we needed to be fixed. But then we had this realization, wait a second, we're the background of peace, we're the effortless being, and this effortless being is whole, it's complete. Can it get sick? Can it die? Does it have any problems? And your intuition knows already. So it's almost like coming from this place. Now that I know this, previously people only thought this. They had no idea about what their true nature is. So imagine, the conditioning. They're thinking that they're separate. So if you're feeling like subject object mode, like you're separate from that, it's like the world's getting you and everything can come at you. But if you realize that you're the open space of beingness the whole time, now you can take that into that. And it's almost like the subject object mode kind of dissolves from there. And it's almost,
Something that I feel might help is,
yeah.
from my perspective, I always believed that I was moving with the
Mm,
movement. I was moving with the emotion.
mm,
I am an angry person. I am a distressed person. I am desperate. I was identifying, I was moving with the energy. I I felt I was the energy. And then I saw, oh, the energy is coming and going
yeah.
in something.
In you, right?
And that something is not moving.
Yeah. And you
And so
identify with that something
that
that's new, that's not moving. That's what you identify with, is what you are.
well, just seeing that, at
Yeah.
least there was
Yeah.
this, oh, okay, so sadness is here now. Okay. Oh, it's not here anymore. Happiness is here now. Oh, and I could, at least I could, like, there was an anchor. I'm not
Yeah.
constantly thrown left to right in the wave, thinking
Yeah.
I'm not able to swim in it and I'm drowning in it. Now there was this, oh, it's an energy in movement. And I can be present, like I know we're bringing words to non-conceptual awareness, but there can
Yeah.
be a presence that is here, open, silent, safe, so that this energy can finally move. And I'm not believing that I'm moving with them, or I'm regressing, or I'm going somewhere, or come regressing backward. Or that place of just and just that. It's already a lot.
Yeah, I really felt that when you were expressing. Yeah, felt that. Monty, how are you? I don't think a lot of people
Hello.
here on the call. I don't know if anybody, does anybody on the call? Do you know anyone here on the call?
I know Sid.
How do you know Sid? I'd love to know this story. How do you know Sid?
In the last conversation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm Monse.
Tell us how, tell everyone how we know each other.
Mm, I think you saw the conversation I had with David Bingham and you emailed me so that we could have a conversation. And then we had a conversation and various conversations. Yeah.
And you also had an experience with David Bingham as well. Want to share that with us?
Yeah. I really don't remember how I found out about David. Um, I remember reaching out and wanting to know what to do with air conditioning and negative thoughts and stuff because at that point I was kind of discovered that it wasn't about avoiding a trigger but leaning towards it. But when I leaned towards it, it was like, oh my God, it's I have a lot of contractions and feelings and emotions and thoughts, and it's way too much. Like at that point, I re-identified again with this separate self. Oh, it's too much. What do I do with this? And so I reached out, and David was like, you just watch it, you know? And he gave me an example of it's like being in the market and people are trying to sell you apples and things, and you just know that you don't need the apple or whatever, you just walk. You you don't need to interact with it, make it conversation. And
Hmm.
in a way, it helped me so much because I realized a lot of things, like um, kind of another level of doing the stuff because at first it was I'm doing the work to free myself and to not feel something, you know?
Mm.
And at some point when I realized that, oh, I'm doing the work out of fear of not and resistance and um, for some feeling, for some emotion, for some idea, then I started to accept it. And as it said earlier, to love it. It's here because I put it in there. It's arising because I agreed to it at some point in my life. And it's arising because it's the way I like program the body, the nervous system to say, this is dangerous. and I need protection from that, you know, and let's not go in there. Like, I think we all have this experience of having a pet and loving it so much. And when it dies, it's like I will never have a pet anymore. And I don't want to have to do anything with the pet because the pain of losing someone that you have loved so much and shared so much can be too intense. But when we do that, we are blocking love from us.
Mm,
We're
yeah.
withholding love from us, not from another human being, but from us. I'm saying I'm not going to feel love because then pain comes. And avoiding um, circumstances because if it doesn't work out, I may feel pain
Mm,
or I may be hurt in some way. Um, it's not loving towards us,
mm,
you know. And yeah, I was so much happening, happened when this really is real realization came. And it's like, okay, I can act different and I can, instead of withholding love, which feels like a pain in the heart, uh, I can just give it away, you know,
mm,
always like gifting it to the body, to the experience, to the present, to the now, to the people I interact with. And it allows like the body to be more compassionate towards people because as you said earlier, you can understand how it feels to identify with a separate self. That scared me that thinks the world is going to get him or her, or that there's something really wrong, or that I'm not lovable, or that my own value is within something I do, you know. A lot of people are so identified with what they do. Like, oh, I'm a doctor first instead of I'm a person first. Even in identification, there's more identification layers. And it's so beautiful to have this compassion towards people. Like you really don't know what you're doing. And it's okay. I accept you as you are.
That's beautiful. I really felt that. How about you guys? That energy that she has and how she expresses is just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. I really felt that compassion and that sincerity really coming through. Anybody else? Julie?
I have a question. Hi.
That's
I know you because I watched a few of your conversations with Robert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Did you feel that this love that you allow to be present for you, for your person, your character, your personality, did you feel that it was supporting you to express yourself, to participate, to was there a place? where you saw that it kind of support you in your human experience?
Yeah, like there was a lot of conditioning towards something and a lot of judgment
Mm,
towards the experience, the feelings, um, the who I was being in some way. And this love towards the ego, the character, and allows it to kind of dissolve, to come down, to feel accepted, because at least at least is the experience here that there was this, oh, I'm seeking love outside and I'm seeking approval from people, and I want to be accepted and I want this and I want that. But when I started giving myself all that and myself, I'm referring to the body and Monse, and I'm standing as awareness, as myself, loving this expression, and even with um, like my body, this body has been very skinny always. Uh, People have judged that thing, like, oh, you're so skinny, you don't eat, or you have some problem, you have to do this diet. And there was this sensation of, I'm like this, and I have kind of to prove that I like eating and I'm I'm just skinny. There is nothing wrong.
mhm,
But, and I always wanted to gain weight, so that I was symbolic. But when I started to not care,
uh-huh,
and love this body as it is,
mm,
yes, it's skinny,
mm,
yet it's strong. And with it, I can play in the world.
yeah,
And it's beautiful in its way. And I can kind of hold it and embrace it and hug it.
mm,
Don't know exactly how to describe that.
yeah,
Like a lot of contractions went away. Like it could rest in me,
yeah,
if that makes
yeah, I
sense.
understand. Yeah, wow. Okay.
And then it was like love is the solution to everything, you know,
Yeah.
as I love the body and the character more, and as I show up as myself,
Mm,
Mm.
then it blooms.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I could relate to that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love that about love. Sometimes, like a lot of us, even those listening, sometimes we're looking for love in all the wrong places. We're looking for love outside of us. And then there's this realization when we look at what we truly are, it really is beautiful. It's unconditional love, this beingness that we are is whole, it's complete, doesn't need anything. It's already at rest. It has everything. And it's unconditional love. It allows everything that we see, that we experience, all of it's allowed to be here in this space of beingness. And really that's what unconditional love is seeing everything as equal, seeing everything with compassion and love, no matter what it is that's presenting or whatever it is that the description or the mind wants to put on what's in the appearance, but embracing it all equally and allowing it to be here in love. And I just think that's, and we did a video, Monty and I, on love. Right? So if people are listening, um, we did do a video all about love and whatnot with your true nature and stuff. So it's just beautiful how you express and the way that you transmit, your energy. I think it's felt, and I've gotten comments from people, that have seen your videos and stuff that say that's just a beautiful expression. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to ask anything for Monty, or anything come up that you want to express or ask? Or
Um, I'm taking it more seriously about opening up a channel and talk about this, and maybe whatever expresses through me can help people to, to regulate their nervous system, to have more love and compassion and kindness for themselves and for people around them. So, yeah.
love that, because when Monty had come to me, she wanted to be able to express this, and I think a lot of us can probably relate to that. Like when we realize our true nature, there's something in us that just wants to express, or it just comes through, and there's kind of a joy in doing it. I know for myself, there is a joy in expressing what this is, and I think there's people out there that that are listening that may have realized their true nature and they want to express it. And Monty had, she had gotten on the call with me and she expressed, and she's like, I like doing this. It does, she felt good like expressing it. So, we did that together. And I think there's probably other people out there, and they're welcome, contact us. We'd be happy to have you on and express this, get it out, let it come through. Whatever Effortless Being wants to express, it's open to express, and you never know like how it's going to uplift someone. Like, for example, David Bingham's words, he said that and it kind of shifted everything for me. And sometimes it's just something someone says on this call might resonate with somebody to bring them some kind of relief or help or whatever it is. We don't know what it is that's going to trigger, but we're just happy to spontaneously express what's come through, whatever our direct experience is, and by sharing our direct experience, just as simple as that, being authentic and just sharing your direct experience with other people can uplift them. And we don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to do, and how it can help someone. So just wanted to express that. I saw Sid going like this. You have something, Sid?
I do have something bubbling.
Of course, I do. You were quiet for a long time. I'm like, he's got to have something.
It's almost just what I'm kind of getting and enjoying in all of us. And it's really kind of goes to what Daryl was saying about the theme park experience widen to aspects of the theme park we didn't even know were there. And it's like, for me, Julie made a very radical statement when she was describing the aspects of us that would calm, these aspects that formerly we want to move away from, that we didn't like. And when she really said in her system, it got to a place where they could stay forever. The sadness, whatever's there, be it shame, something's wrong with me, I'm not good enough, comparison, and it's like that it can stay forever. And then it's like when Daryl was talking about the narrowness, I just know in my life, it's amazing. We can so much of our lives can be about kind of managing the states, and like I want the good state and not that. I want this, not that, and that's the narrow theme park. And then Daryl speaks of it widening, and just similarly to raising the standard, I hear the same thing in Monty, like how everything changes when there's a sense of I love my body just as it is. I mean, game changer, right? How much of our fixation can be on that? But I love my body, I love my hair, my mind, my whatever's coming up just as it is. And she describes and she kind of accepts everyone just as they are. Then like we don't have to fixate on those things anymore. Like how much of our attention's on that? Then we get to like open up to the wider theme park And then what Daryl says, right? The wider theme park, that doesn't mean it's just like riding the roller coaster or being in the bliss land. It can like the wider theme park can be like, oh my, you mean I'm going in the haunted house now? Now that this is open, I can really go down in the basement of my own system into the haunted house. And then that gets to be included too. And I just wanted to highlight like that, like we're really pushing the edge here, and I'm just enjoying all of this. And thank you.
Felt that, Sid.
Yeah, it's true how much of a waste of time it is to micromanage everything that the character does, because as the separate self, when we're identifying with, oh, I'm Monty and I'm 37 years old and I'm a woman and I'm Mexican and I'm this and I'm this and I'm this. And then I believe this. And then, it's like there's this urge to control things, how the character moves, how it speaks, what does it like, because it's, I don't know, better maybe to like some things rather than others. And there's this even praise, the guilty pleasure. Like, if it were wrong that having that pleasure that, oh, I like this and I enjoy this thing, whatever this thing is, but you also control the way you dress, the way you show up, um, and managing the body, it is done that. Um, Gotta sleep this way or gotta exercise this way or not exercise at all. And separation is like, oh, I want to control all these things because I need to have,
Takes a
so
lot of
much
energy,
balance.
right? There's a lot of energy drained when you're doing that. It's almost just like this
Yeah,
freedom from this energy where you could just rest as effortless being and you see through that. It's so exhausting having to maintain that separate character, all
yeah.
these different beliefs. It's such a relief to know that.
But when you awaken and you stay as you are, like all that energy that was lost
Yeah.
in micromanaging, like boom, comes back, and there's like suddenly loads of energy to create and enjoy and play and have fun.
Yeah. Lord, use it for creativity and other things. That's beautiful. So, Sid, you said at the start of the call there was two questions you wanted to ask Daryl. Now's your chance.
Okay. First off, I can't just skip over this. Your line, I just love this line of yours so much. The perfume of peace. And I keep going, sniffing the perfume of peace that's always here. It's such a beautiful one, Rob. I just love that. Um, and then for Daryl, something he said before we like started recording, he was describing himself as he was describing his work as a horticulturalist and working with plants. And I was, and he was, he, you kind of pointed to something, Daryl, that the sense of how this moves through you. And then you were saying there was a sense of connectedness that was here, that was applying to your work with nature, with plants. And it's like, I was just so curious to hear about that, if that's something that can be spoken.
I suppose it's similar to the connection you have with people in a way. It's the love connection. So it's a heart connection. So you can have a heart connection with pets. You can have a heart connection with obviously with people, and you can have a heart connection with plants. And when you have that connection, there's like a transfer of information. Um, and yeah, and it's quite tangible. You can feel it, you know. And I mean, I'm one of these people like sometimes I've got my favorite trees, and I go to these trees and I talk to the trees, you know. And I get a response. I mean, it's not as glamorous as it might sound, but I mean, it all ties into that we are all connected, and we're more than just connected. We're actually the same organism, essentially. And we express it in different ways. Some people have it with find it easier with people and pets, and other people, you know, can have that connection with plants. And I kind of went out of horticulture for a few years, and I only discovered how much I really loved it when I came back. Um, yeah, it's the same. It's really like anything in nature. If you see a bird and it just fills you with joy, you know. So it's it fills you. It's the heart connection that fills you with joy, fills you with inspiration. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's part of the spectrum of experience that expands. You know. I mean, there are people who feel themselves in other galaxies almost. They have a sort of cosmic consciousness. So, you know, there's almost, or there is no limit to how one can express this awareness that we have. And it's almost if you had to talk in religious terms, it's almost a sin just to be tied into limitation and lack and not to experience the fullness of our potential. I mean, that's probably the original sin, is that we don't know who we are and we don't know our potential. Um, and that is what we're discovering, all of us here as well. And I sense that we are only just starting the journey. You know, it's just started. Awakening is like the first step in the journey. And
That,
that's really
That
exciting.
that opens up to the second question I had, which was something you and Julie were both pointing to. You spoke to it and as part of your book was, I forget if it was a chapter Beyond Seeking when you spoke of your book, and Julie also spoke of this place of where it just becomes integration, and I'm just curious about that from you guys.
If I could just, the one thing that integration is really, it's quite it's simple, but it's at the same time a really big topic. But the human being, or I'm talking from my experience, I mean, we are seriously complex, emotionally complex, and psychologically complex. So we have our transcendent nature, and then we have our human nature. And in our human nature, we have our animal nature as well. And this is like a psychology that's so we kind of this amalgam of a transcendent being, a human being, an animal being, and and a lot of uh, in integration, a lot of things are unavailable to us, and in psychology they call it the shadow. So for me, the integration is really actually um, is trying to make the unconscious conscious, because I only realized, I mean, I knew that my beliefs created my reality. I was very clear on that. I've been clear on that for a long time. But it's quite difficult to know what actually are your beliefs, because a lot of your beliefs are subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So so if you want to talk about spiritual work, which is kind of not really maybe I don't know, on the Effortless Being channel, but it's yeah, that's the thing. And I actually found that there were beliefs that I had that I didn't know I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they were really pretty obvious when I found them. And then I realized I was expressing it all the time. subtly. I mean, they like super subtle beliefs.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky part is how does one access that subconscious? And by definition, the subconscious can't be accessed. So how do you pry it open?
Ah.
Uh,
Julie, remember we were talking a little bit about this in the abundance book about the people buying into the beliefs and how they create your reality and the subconscious and a little bit.
I love stirring them up.
Yeah.
I work with, I think that's segue with what Daryl was saying. I work with integrate as you go. And the way I tend to do it for myself is I- I'll feel an intuition to do something, but it's very scary to do it. And I'll do it anyway. And then while doing it, I'll see all the subconscious belief that are stirred up from that. So the way I work with people is I invite them to do something very scary with me in the safety of the container that I offer so that they can see their subconscious belief more quickly. And it's a way that has been working well with me. And it's also segue with what Montserrat was saying about love, because when I started to coach, I created online course, first of all, for myself, because they were helping myself. I think we're always like just teaching what we need to learn. That's something that I've kind of saw through my experience.
Mhm.
And as I was producing a course to put online, I could see that I was really scared that no one would show up. And I was really sad, in fact, when I was having this thought, what if no one show up? And I chose to be really in love with what was arising and chose to put the course out there anyway and be totally okay if no one show up. But I couldn't see this belief unless I took a step in the discomfort. So for me, growth is still happening through getting out of my comfort zone, which is my nervous system is kind of, okay, we're all right. This is very comfortable. But I'm like, oh, let's just see if I can take another step outside of my comfort zone. And then I feel, oh, there's this expansion. So for me, it's both. We are already absolutely open, expanded, absolutely there. There's nothing to find, and it's all well. And at the same time, in my human experience, I experience a growth, an expansion that is continuous, and I don't see any end to it. For me, as long as the body is here, there are shadows and there's this path of growth. But it's the distinction for me is that it's not a search or a seeking. It's not like something I have to find or that I feel I lack. It's something I lean into, knowing that I want to see everything
Mhm.
and show me everything. So life will show me what is not seen. And I cannot believe that I've seen everything. It's because as soon as I believe that, it's a limitation. I'd rather stay open and just see, okay, I kind of see myself like I have courage and life will support life and we'll see what happens. And
yeah, when the
it's,
time is right, you'll be shown. Yeah.
yeah, and all the
Um,
answers, what is needed is appearing
yes.
when it's needed. It
When it
cannot
and when
appear.
it's needed. Yeah.
The ground appears as you walk.
Yeah, the next inspiration come as I take a step in the life that I really enjoy living.
Maybe I can ask Sid a question.
Mm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry if I cut you short, Julie.
Oh no, it's your question. I'm sorry.
I thought I'd ask Sid a question because he's asking all the questions.
Yeah.
So do
That's
you
good.
have any, Sid? Do you have any spiritual practice or I mean, is there integration? I mean, what is the or give us an idea of your spiritual life.
Hmm,
It's a good one.
gosh, it feels very familiar with what I've heard from you, Julie, and Monty, and Rob. It's like again, that standard Julie said, like really being okay, really welcoming everything to be here. That was a real tipping point in my system. And then it's about being with what is here, whatever the contraction, the shame, whatever comes. And then and this is kind of where I am in the opening, I think, right now. It's like the system isn't it's not as clear as Rob's, where it's just everything is it's not that clear yet, because there's still a sense of seeing through some of the contractions, just like noticing that it's all made of the same, that you could say it's all love, it's all aliveness, it's all presence, it's all being. And so it's like a lovely edge here. And when a contraction comes, when someone says, Sid, you're a jerk, or you're God only, or I do a big group and one person comes, and it's like, the parts that come up, the thoughts that come up, like, look, you're right, this isn't worth anything what you're sharing. And it's like, but it's like to really be with that, right? It's not going away from it anymore, it's not avoiding it. And just like Julie says, something does happen without an agenda for it to disappear, just being with it. And then I don't Julie, you said something that was so beautiful, and I was writing down everything you guys said. Let me just see if I can find this. It was so gorgeous,
Don't
Julie.
worry, Sid. I'll send you the recording.
uh, I just want to quote her, because
Go.
it was like it was about, it reveals itself. It was like being with this, and it's something reveals its nature. I can't find it in my notes right now, but it was that. And that's the excitement of where it is right now. And just like what I was saying with Rob, and seeing something Daryl says that's like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that, that's so offensive and so bad. But then listening a little closer, and you can see the innocence in it and the beauty that's there, right? And it's like the same game in my own system, where it's almost like the radiance, the presence, the love, or what Rob says, everything is an expression of awareness. It's like that reveals itself. And so it's just, that seems to be the edge here, is just being with what's here. How'd I do, Daryl?
Yeah, lovely. I mean, living is essentially, I think, from what I gather, what you said is living is the spiritual practice, day-to-day life. That is the practice. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm, well said. All right, I think we'll close it out. Why don't we just go around and anything last minute you want to close out with? And I guess we'll go to Daryl and then we'll go around. Daryl, anything else you want to share? Maybe just something that anyone listening, maybe there's one thing that you want them to, stick with that would help them, or something you want to express.
So, yeah, the one thing I would say is that people's natures are different, and some people resonate well and find it very useful inquiry. Um, whereas, and in the Western world, or in the world that we live, it's a very patriarchal society, and we're a mind-dominated society. So a lot of people use inquiry, and inquiry is we inquire into the nature of our being. But for a lot of people, inquiry is actually more of a dry philosophy, and this comes into what Monty was saying, is for a lot of people, the path of love is a far more productive or useful path.
Mm,
And I personally feel that we all need both. It's just some people, they make more progress through inquiry, and other people make more progress through the path of the heart. And the path of the heart is that of devotion. So it's devotion to the divine and the opening of the heart. And for me personally, that's something that I try and cultivate.
Mm.
beautiful. Sid, anything coming through that you want to share, you want to leave people with?
Yes, I found Julie's quote.
Oh,
Oh.
But I want to do Monty's again for I want to do Monty's again first. Like oh, gosh. Just a minute, it's coming. Yeah, love my body as it is.
Ah, yeah.
Love my body as it is. And just you can replace that. That's the line. You replace the word body with whatever else is there. I love that. And then Julie's infinite being reveals itself to itself.
mm.
Thank you.
Julie, anything last minute you want to leave people with, or anything you want to express that's coming through?
I really felt it when Daryl mentioned the connection with the plant. And I thought this might be helpful for people to honor their personality because some people prefer to be alone, but then feel conflicted about the fact that they don't enjoy being with people. And some people enjoy being with people, and I'm one of those. My personality was always people, like being with people is easy for me, and that's effortless. And and there was this imbalance where I kind of had to feel okay with being with myself. So I'd say this expression, this beingness, the bliss can be if it's plant, it's plant. If it's people, it's people. If it's your dog, if it's your partner, if it's for me, even with object, I can see, perceive, and that I think it's what Daryl was saying is instead of living from here, everyone can see if they can drop and live, and that's the opening of the heart, is open this and live from here. And
Mm,
then you see you can connect to the world from here, and even with anything around you, and trees and people and object, and I can just perceive personality of object. I think it's bliss. I think that's the bliss.
that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so that would be the heart opening, and it's something that one can consciously cultivate. It's already a wider lens than
Beautiful.
yeah.
All right, Monty, what do you got? Anything coming through? Anything you want to leave people with?
Um, yeah, I want to say first that it was a pleasure to hear from all of you. I love the plant thing. That's really sure. Um, I think Julie has so great insight. Steve is so joyful. It's so fun to to hear you talk. And what I want people to kind of grasp, which is not grasping really, is that for all of this to kind of come through, come together as if it were a puzzle, um, is safety, you know, like you can open up the heart more and more and live from that space, uh, from freedom, when you can teach the body that you are safe,
Mm.
that nothing can harm you because you are that, you know. And as Rupert Spara would say, you know, like you're the screen, and it doesn't matter if you put on a really bloody movie, a Tarantino movie today, and then you go um, 3 hours later and put in some comedy, and you watch Friends. The screen is still intact. Nothing happened to the screen, and nothing happened to you. You were just watching it. And at any point of time, you could stop it and choose another channel.
Mhm.
So I would invite you, the viewer, to go into safety, to realize that nothing can harm you ever, that nothing can change you, literally, because you are so complete. You can't add something to you, and you can't eliminate something from you because you are so full and so complete and so safe. And using a little bit of maybe a religious term in which God is the Father. Like, would you imagine that this life wouldn't be safe? Like, it doesn't make sense when a father or a parent has a kid and they take the kid to the playground. They let the kid play and do its thing, and maybe the kid will fall, but there's no true harm going to the kid, you know? And
Oh, not sure what happened there, but but she's beautifully expressing there. I love that.
Safety, I like that. Safety, feeling safe.
Feeling
That's
safe. Yeah.
yeah. And in my experience on the human dimension, safety also comes with knowing I can have boundary.
Yes,
The more
boundaries are
I
important.
feel
Yeah.
I can have boundary, the more I
Mhm.
feel free to love.
Yeah,
I find it's both
beautiful.
end of one spectrum.
Yeah. All right, I think we'll close out there. You guys made these calls effortless, Sid. I don't know, these calls get more and more effortless as I go, and it's just beautiful meeting people all around the world, different flavors of how they express this. We're all this one consciousness, this one infinite being, this effortless being that's always here, and it's whole, it's complete, and it's right here shining for everyone to discover. And we're all resources here. So anybody listening to this, reach out. I'll put links and descriptions. The books that we talked about will be in there. Something resonates with you, please, reach out to us. Be happy to help. We're making ourselves available, with this. So, and we love talking about it and expressing it. And if you want to come on here and chat with us, we'll be doing another one in 2 weeks, same time, same station. So if you want to come on with us and join us, we'd love to have you.
Thank you, Rob. You're so good at it. You're
So
like
fun. It's
effortless.
effortless.
The infinite being, yeah, serving the infinite being.
Yes. Anything else, guys, I missed? Are we good? We ready to close out? Anything, Daryl? Um,
I just want to chat to Sid before you go. If there's something I
yeah,
just
yeah,
want to.
yeah. Let me just
Oh,
end the
sure.
recording here and then oh, you want to talk to Sid right now? Or on
No,
the
no,
air?
end the recording.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks everybody for coming in. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you,
Much love,
everyone.
much joy for everyone.
Thank you. Bye, Monty.